Hello, and welcome to another edition of Leafless, Not Lifeless with Sharon Benjamin. I am so happy that you joined me. I am just really excited. Anytime you want to get in touch with me to find out more about the show, send me an email, whatever you'd like to know. You may send your information to leaflessnotlifeless@gmail.com, and I will respond readily. I'm excited about today's show. Listen, lots of people have dreams, but you know what? You have to put some feet to the dream, so to speak. But when you put the feet to the dreams, that doesn't mean that you might have some hurdles. My guest today is a dentist from Nigeria, Babatunde Ayilola. working on that working on that name. He's going to share with us how he, his dream to become a dentist, parent support, some obstacles that he faced, but what he's doing right now, he and his wife, and what he's doing to help the community. Thank you so much, Babatunde, for joining me.
It's my pleasure. I'm glad to be on the show tonight.
I am so happy because you are a dream maker. Your dream came true, and you are doing so many other things. So that's wonderful. So listen, why don't you start us out by telling us a little bit about yourself, even before you started, doing the dental work?
Okay. Well, really, for me, like she rightly introduced me, I'm very grateful to be here, to speak to people. This is the program called Leafless, Not Lifeless. So, well, before I ventured into the dental profession, I grew up in a, let me say a remote setting in the western part of Nigeria, in the southwestern part of Nigeria. I schooled all through till now. I passed from my little experience outside the country in Ghana. I had my education in the southwestern part of Nigeria. So I grew up in a family of 4 children, where I happened to be the first son and the first out of 4 boys. I have my dad and my mom, retired civil servants, and it's been fine. Now I have a family of my own. I'm married to a medical doctor, Temilade, very great, young, beautiful, woman. So I'm trusting God for my children soon as well.
Awesome. So Babatunde, what was your inspiration to go into the dental field as a dentist?
Okay, thank you. So for me, really, I never dreamed about dentistry. What exactly, that brought me to dentistry, really, I think it was a divine orchestration. I grew up knowing that my parents wanted me to be a doctor. In fact, they wanted me to be a medical doctor. Okay, so when I started schooling, at a point in my penultimate year at the secondary school, that's what we call it in Nigeria, our high school system, we refer to it as the secondary school system. So when I was in my penultimate year, I had a little challenge with my physics. Physics is one of those key courses that you must pass if you are going to go into the sciences at the tertiary institution, especially if you would like to become a doctor. So while I put in for medicine and surgery at a particular university, which was my first choice course, and my second choice university, my first choice university offered me dental surgery. So it was I was between 2 options, either to go in for medicine and surgery or to go in for dental surgery. But for me personally, I loved my first choice school. It happened to be one of the best schools in Nigeria. So I had to settle down for dental surgery. So, well, for me, during that time, I got to know that dental surgery and medicine and surgery was, they were brothers and sisters. So I knew I had nothing to lose. But coincidentally, that time happened to be a time when I had a lot of plaque and calculus in my mouth. So I had these stains all over my dentition that needed to be removed. So coincidentally, I happened to get to know the beauty of dentistry, the beauty of rehabilitating people who peradventure due to accidents or some form of trauma had lost some of their dentition, or due to lack of information had not been able to secure a visit to their dentist or a dental therapist at any point in time. So that was when I began to know that, oh, what a great one to delve into as a dental surgeon. And now today, come to think of it, in fact, I just finished putting a lot of smile on different patients today before we started this conversation.
That's awesome. So you mentioned that your parents initially wanted you to be an MD. So were they pleased that you went into DDS as opposed to, dental surgery as opposed to an MD, or how supportive were they?
Yes.
Were they supportive even though you didn't do the MD?
Yes, I mean, they gave me their stand support, really. They were there for me throughout, even in my challenging moments. They were there for me. They were not disappointed because they understood better that I was going to become a doctor. I mean, a dental surgeon. So there are a lot of subspecialties in dentistry, and I do hope that soon I will be specializing in orthodontics, like orthodontics.
That is awesome. So I want to share with the audience a picture of you after you received your dental. Let's get this picture here because I want them to see. Yes. So let's see here. We have, oh, this is not the one. Hold on one second. We get the one that really, oops.
Yes, exactly.
Well,
on your right.
There's a better one. Let me see here. Okay. Hold on.
Okay.
Because I want to, okay, so we'll have to go with this one. All right. Okay, so
fine.
Tell us about these.
So let me just talk a little bit about these pictures. Very wonderful pictures. Okay, so on your left hand side, on my left hand side here is my humble self on a native attire. This was during my engagement ceremony when I was getting married to my wife, and on the right hand side is was me when I was inducted into the dental profession by the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. That was back in January 2019.
So that is awesome. That's awesome. So you and your wife have started an organization. Tell us about it.
Okay, good. So, well, for me and my wife, we arrived at a particular name, which we called Dr. Both. We are both doctors. She is a medical doctor. I am a dental surgeon. Okay, so Dr. Both, the B stands for Babatunde, which happens to be my first name. The O stands for Oluwaleke, that's my own middle name. The A stands for Abimbola, that's my wife's middle name. Then the T stands for Temilade, that's our own first name. Okay, so that's how we came about Dr. Both. And Dr. Both TV is actually a platform where we dish out health-related information that is adequate, that is valid, and that is good for use to the general public, especially to the global audience. So we have diverse platforms that we leverage on. We leverage on the LinkedIn platform. We leverage on the Facebook platform, the Instagram platform, and our YouTube channel, all at Dr. Both TV. And what we've been doing is creating awareness. We do invite health specialists and practitioners from across the globe to dish out health-related information to which actually aims at preventing diseases in our society, especially non-communicable diseases. So that's what we do. We try as much as possible to upload content as regular as possible. So that's what we do there.
And here is the picture of his beautiful wife and both of them. And it's amazing that you're able to merge that together. That's wonderful. Now, you are a dental surgeon now. However, it didn't come with some challenges. Talk about some of the things that you had to face to get to this point. You've gotten to this point now. You're enjoying what you're doing, but talk to us a little bit about, although while those challenges were ensuing to some people, you might have looked leafless, but you were still working on getting to this point. Talk to us about them.
Oh, great. So at some point in my life, while I was in the dental school, it wasn't without challenges. I faced hurdles, and thank God I'm here today. I'm very glad that I can also share my experience with people across the globe. Okay, so progressing through my dental school happens to be 6 years. So it's from part 1 to part 6. So, I started the journey through part 1. While I got to part 5, about to cross to part 6, which was my final year, I had to repeat the whole year, the whole part 5. Well, it was very hectic for me. I read like I never read. In fact, for that exam that I failed, but I didn't have access to the right information, and I didn't study the right materials. That was why I failed. In fact, I failed narrowly with 1 mark, okay? So 1 mark can be very costly. A little mistake can be very costly. So 1 single mark cost me 1 entire year, okay? So it was a bit painful. It was a time to learn, to unlearn, and to relearn for me. And thank God for the support of people around me, my parents especially, and my fiancée, who happens to be my wife today. They were big pillars of support for me during that critical time and challenging moment of my life. It was a time when I also happened to be a head of an organization, one of the biggest organizations on campus, and I was the president of that particular organization. That was such a time when I was the signature of every eye on campus. That was the time I failed. But glory be to God, I scaled through. All I did was to unlearn, to relearn at that particular point in time, because I studied very hard. I told myself I was not going to fail, because if you fail in days of the adversities, the scriptures, I'm a Christian, the Bible says it means you are weak.
That's right.
Okay, so, it means that strength is small. So I told myself, that kept ringing in my ears, to my ears at all times. And thank God for some of my alumni, especially my fellowship back then on campus, who also supported me. I could recall at the time I was reading, studying at the school library, and I just heard that call. They used to call me pastor back then. They said, Pastor Tunde, can I just give you, how are you doing? How are you coping? Hope you are coping fine with this new year of yours. And I said, yes, I was fine. And the lady, she's a pharmacist now. She sent me some money. I felt so elated. I was so, in fact, till tomorrow, I will keep making reference to that woman for that singular act of hers in my life. It touched my heart, and I had also decided that I would always be there for people who are in need. Okay, so though I was liveless at that time, I still had life. And here I am today. I am beautifully made. I am indeed made, and I'm happy with what I'm doing. I was able to go through that year again, and I eventually came through, in flying colors. I must tell you that I've been reminding myself again and again that, to the glory of God, that lesson that I've learned has served as the one and only lesson that I will learn in terms of academic excellence. Now, if I'm going to any exams, I have no choice than to come out in flying colors.
So and tell me.
Exams after that time, and I've been doing very well. Like, results have been coming out, and I've been making it in flying colors.
So what would you, so your learning experience from that situation, what would you tell other people?
Well, for me, I would like to advise everybody listening to me that, one, delay is not denial. Delay is not denial. Okay, the fact that you are at that present stage of your life where you are facing with different challenges. Yours may be health challenge, yours may be marital delay, yours may be academic setback due to diverse occurrences. In fact, you may not even know what you're going to eat to bed tonight, okay? Listen to me. Delay is not denial. The fact that you've not been able to achieve it today, please keep hope alive. There is a bright tomorrow for you, okay? If you have failed yesterday, look, you are not a failure. You are a success. That failure is a tonic for your success. Get it right, okay? Dust your books and forge ahead. Yes. There is a goal ahead. In fact, look, you didn't fail because you are not good. You failed because you are more than enough. There is something in you. Yes. Success is who you are. Be courageous. Forge ahead. You can do it. Please, yes. don't relent. Forge ahead. Dust your boots. Go for the medals. You can do it. You can be the champion. You are a champion. That's who you are. It doesn't matter if you are born poor. You will not remain poor. Make a redefine who you are. Redefine your situation. There is success in you, and success is who you are.
These are
the lessons I learned.
That is excellent advice. You had another situation, a financial situation that was a setback for you. Well, it seemed to have been a setback. What happened with that?
Okay, good. So it started later during COVID era, back in 2020. You know, those were the times I started earning as an house officer. I was earning some good money in Naira, you know, and I felt there was a need for me to start save up for my forthcoming wedding and all of that, to settle down. And it fell into early parts of 2021. And there was this investment scheme that was thriving. At least it lasted about 6 months. I invested a huge sum of money. And all of a sudden, we just received an email that they were not going to pay us. And I was shocked to my bone because I trusted them, really. I believed they were going to keep delivering because they had a good template to an extent. You know, they ventured into real estate, they ventured into Forex, you know, foreign exchange and all of that, into cryptocurrency. And I felt they had vision, you know, a great vision. But I was really amazed. It was a life shocker for me because I even helped some friends and family members to invest their money as well. And all of a sudden, to date, our money is gone, really.
So how did you recover? How did you recover?
To the glory of God, I didn't resort to fail because a lot of things came eating me hard during that time. In fact, maybe at some point, the only thing I was left was for me to think about suicide. In fact, I want to state this. Never ideate suicide. It's not, your life matters. If there is life, there is hope. Okay? If there is life, there is hope. That reminds me a part of the scriptures that says there's hope for a tree, you know, if it is even cut down, that at some point in time, it will sprout again at the scent of water. All you need is a scent of water. Okay? So I'm blossoming now. I'm recovering. Okay? I'm recovering. In fact, to the glory of God, I went on with my planned, you know, events. It was glorious. People came to my help, in fact, from unknown sources. So just believe, forge ahead. Don't kill yourself. There is hope.
I love the phrase. I love the phrase you just used, the scent of water. That is awesome. And I think that is something that you are giving to people because you also make presentations, you're helping young kids. Tell us about what you're doing in terms of going into the community, speaking to people, speaking to kids. What are you doing in that regard?
Okay, thank you very much. So one of the things I try as much as possible to do is to inspire others, not only leveraging on my digital platforms, but I also ensure that I put up physical appearances. Okay, so I always like to leverage on every opportunity I have to reach out to the younger ones. One, to inspire them to ensure that they become whom they are destined to be. 2, to also inspire them to ensure that they take good care of their oral health. That's very important. A lot of young children, especially adolescents, at that transitory period between childhood and adulthood, let's say between the age of 12 to 18 in some climes, that period is a very important period where they imbibe some habits that can actually make or mar them. Let's take, for instance, that's a period due to peer pressure where they begin to imbibe, habits like alcoholism, and, they begin to go into different types of lifestyles, apart from alcoholism, smoking. And we know that these habits, when it sticks with them, it will continue to mar their life gradually. So one of the things I try to do is to reach out to them, tell them about the need to actually, begin to know the reasons why they should not, imbibe and indulge in those habits. Let them know about how to brush their mouth, to avoid refined carbohydrates in terms of, snacking in between meals and all of that, to begin to change their lifestyle, to accommodate things that would be a better one for them and to make them live longer. Because you know that, especially in this part of the world where I live, the life expectancy is around 45 and the early 50s. So we want to tell people, and that's one of the things I tell them. Look, guys, young people, don't give up, imbibe good habits. A sedentary lifestyle is not good. Smoking, alcoholism is to your detriment. It's detrimental to your health. And I try as much as well to share these things with them, teach them using models, mouth models, how to brush adequately, encourage them to visit their dentist. And if they have any issue about their health in general, they should visit a physician, irrespective of their, financial status. Those are the things I try as much as possible in company with my wife to push out to them from time to time. I visit schools, I go to orphanages, and I do this often.
That's good. So here's a picture you're seeing as you're talking of Babatunde, and it sounds as if you're trying to start them early. You mentioned the life expectancy is not very long, but we know that dental health can affect the entire body.
Definitely.
Because, with poor dental health, then you can't eat properly and then you can't digest. So it's a cycle with the dental. Yes. Often people think about other parts of the body, but the teeth, your dental work is extremely important for the entire body. So it's a good thing that you're doing that. And kudos to you and your wife for the organization that you've started and how you're operating and how you are merging with others. You mentioned that you have other professionals even invite them to share information. So I'm assuming, or let me just ask you, it's not just dental, but the whole person. You have people come in to talk about not just dental, but the whole person.
Yes, about different topics.
Very good.
Hypertension, prevention of diabetes, and all of that.
I am so glad that you took out your busy schedule to share this information. Very insightful, very helpful, I hope, because, it's very inspiring, but I say so often you have to go from inspiration to motivation and really put into practice, because I can be inspired, but if I'm not motivated to actually do something, then it's not going to make a difference. So what I want you to do is please share with the audience how they can get in touch with you, how they can read your material, how they can reach out to you. They might have some questions. They don't have to be in Nigeria because you're global. I met you on LinkedIn. So how can people reach you?
All right. So for me, really, you can reach out to me personally, or you can reach out to Dr. Boat TV. Okay, so let me start with Dr. Boat TV. If you are going to reach out to us, just that same word, just type it, doctor, give it a space in between the doctor, DR, Boat, B-O-A-T, then space TV. That's for Dr. Bo TV. In fact, if you reach out, you can search us out on Instagram right away, on Facebook, and on YouTube. Then personally as well, if you reach out to us on Dr. Bo TV, if you want to reach me personally as well, you can reach out to my email, ayilolababatunde@gmail.com. AYILOLABABATUNDE@gmail.com. As well, you can find me out or search me out on LinkedIn. I post on LinkedIn every day, okay? So, and what I post is on health-related topics. So search me out on LinkedIn, my full name, Ajilola Babatunde. Same on Facebook and Instagram. You can reach out to me. I'm always available. If you send me a mail, I will reply you almost immediately.
This is awesome. Thank you so much. I am just so pleased that you shared this information, which is beneficial for every age group. So thank you so much.
Definitely.
Again, kudos to you and your wife for the information that, or the organization that you've started. And congratulations for the future children.
Thank you.
As time goes on. And again, thank you to the listeners and the viewers for joining me here on Leafless Not Lifeless with Sharon Benjamin. Thank you so much. You can reach me at leaflessnotlifeless@gmail.com with your questions, your comments, and feel free to share the videos, share the show. If you can share it, feel free to do so. I appreciate it. And Babatunde, thank you so much again for being with me. This has been wonderful. Thank you so much. And I will see the rest of you the next time right here on Leafless Not Lifeless with Sharon Benjamin. Have a great one. And I look to hear from you at leaflessnotlifeless@gmail.com. Thank you so much and see you next time.